Hello everybody, how are you all? Hope you're all very well. I've had a question that I'm going to answer in the form of a video. I've had a question from somebody called Mehru Nissa. If you're watching, I apologise if I've pronounced your name wrong, but I believe it's Mehru Nissa. Anyway, if you're watching, hello, and accept my apology please if I've pronounced your name wrong. And this person basically says, I'm on a starch-based diet. I've been on a starch-based diet for 2 months, but I can't lose a single pound. I can't exercise. It's hard for me. My current weight is 200 pounds. Okay, so first of all, unfortunately, I can't really suggest why you haven't lost weight if you're following a starch-based diet for 2 months, because I don't know your personal circumstances. Obviously you can be on a starch-based diet and still be consuming fats and things, so I apologise for not being able to maybe guide you as you've wanted me to, because I simply don't know your personal circumstances, what you're eating, you know, how active your day is in terms of your job, etc, etc. I'm also not going to advise you on why you haven't lost weight, because I'm not an expert. I'm not somebody who has spent a huge amount of time studying the subject. I'm somebody who's basically just doing it for myself and seeing the results, and I can only talk about my own personal experiences. I've lost the weight by high carb starch based diet. I've cut out oil, I've cut out salt, I've cut out saturated fats. Well, I've cut out pretty much all fats apart from the only fats I'm really consuming at the moment is I'm eating 2 Brazil nuts every day. I've read this fascinating article, and I had no idea this, that you only need to eat 2 Brazil nuts to get the necessary fats and nutrients that you require from those. So anyway, I'm not an expert on this subject. There are people who are far more knowledgeable about this subject than I am, so I can't really advise you on why you haven't lost any weight when you've been doing starch-based for 2 months. What I would say is, if you're eating a starch-based diet and you're cutting out oil and salt and fats, you will lose weight. It may be that your body is simply having to adapt more to the diet. Everybody's body and system is different. It takes different people different times to adapt. The one thing that I would say is that you say it's hard for you to exercise because your weight is 200 pounds. What I would say to that is, you say you can't exercise. Obviously, again, I don't know if that's because you have a disability or an illness or something that actually stops you from being physical. But what I would say is, if you weigh 200 pounds and you're finding it difficult, obviously the first thing I would say, if you weigh 200 pounds, I would say don't try to run for exercise. Running is very high impact, and when you are 200 pounds, that's a lot of weight to be putting through your knees and your ankles and your joints. So I would say don't run. I started, when I first started trying to lose weight, I started by running, and I think that may be now why a couple of years later I'm having trouble with my knees, because I started running when I was at my heaviest. And obviously it's not great to be heavy at your heaviest and to start with running, because it's going to damage your joints. So I would say to you, don't try and run. If you've got a bicycle, if you can afford a bicycle, if you can find someone that has one, or borrow somebody, ride your bike. Even if you can only manage a few minutes at the weight you're currently at, ride your bike. But I would say the best thing to do if you're 200 pounds is just walk. You don't need any equipment, you don't need to spend any money. Just put on your shoes and just walk somewhere. And the thing I would say is, and this isn't just to you, Meru, but this is to anybody watching this video, if you are quite heavy and you're only just beginning to try and lose weight, in terms of exercise, just do whatever you can do. If you are heavy and you can only walk 10 minutes before you are out of breath, before your body hurts, before you don't want to walk anymore because you're tired, if all you can do every day is 10 minutes, then do 10 minutes. If the only thing that you can do today and in the next few days in terms of exercise is do 10 minutes, then just walk for 10 minutes. Because walking for 10 minutes is better than doing nothing at all, okay? So, you know, if all you can do is 10 minutes, walk 5 minutes from your front door, turn around and walk 5 minutes back. But the thing I would say is, if all you can manage is 10 minutes, just do it, but do it consistently. Try and walk 10 minutes every day. If you can't manage that, walk 10 minutes every other day. Because doing some form of exercise, even if it's only 10 minutes, is better than doing nothing. The second thing that I would say about exercise is that it can be very dangerous watching YouTube videos and seeing all these very fit people riding their bike for 100 miles or running for an hour or whatever, because human beings naturally, we want to compare ourselves to other people. And I had this problem when I first started getting fit. I was watching videos of cyclists and runners and hikers and people who can hike for 10 hours and stuff, and it got me down and made me fed up, because I was like, oh, I can only run for 10 minutes, you know, and it made me feel sort of inferior. But I learned very quickly to stop comparing yourself to others. Stop watching YouTube videos where people are running and cycling for hours. Just focus absolutely on what it is that you can do. What can you do today that will make you active? Okay, as I said, if you weigh 200 pounds or if you weigh more and you're just starting to try and lose weight and your body isn't used to exercise, just do whatever you can. If all you can do is walk for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, then do that 10-15 minutes, but you know, just do it. You know, put your shoes on and do that walk, and do it consistently. The key to exercise is to do it consistently. If all you can do is 10 minutes and you do it every day, within a week or 2 weeks you'll be able to do 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. So yeah, but just do whatever you can do, because 10 minutes of a walk is better than 10 minutes sitting in a chair. Okay, so Meru, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, and I hope that helps. I'm sorry that I can't advise you in more detail about why you haven't lost weight, but I think because I don't know you personally and because I'm not an expert, I think it would actually be quite irresponsible of me to actually say you haven't lost weight because. So I hope that's helped you. But like I said, stick to the starch-based diet. Oil, salt and fat, try and get as much of that out of your diet as possible, and just do some exercise. I know you weigh 200 pounds and you says you can't exercise, but exercise doesn't mean running a marathon. Exercise doesn't mean riding up a mountain on a bike. Exercise doesn't mean going for a 10-hour hike across the countryside. Exercise is just basically your body moving. This is exercise. If you sit in a chair and do this for 10 minutes, waving your arms or your hands about, whatever, your heart rate will increase, okay? That's exercise. Don't make the mistake of thinking that exercise has to be a run, a swim, a cycle. Yes, when you lose weight and you get fitter, you can do those things and they will accelerate your fitness levels. But exercise is just moving, just getting up out of a chair or leaving your home, put your shoes on, go for a walk, but do whatever you can do right now. Focus on right now. Don't think to yourself, in 3 months I want to run, I want to walk an hour, I want to do this. Just focus on today. Because if you can walk for 10 minutes today, then you can walk for 10 minutes tomorrow, and you can walk for 10 minutes the day after. Focus on what you can do, not what anyone else can do. Forget what everyone else can do. Focus on what you can do now, today. Focus on what you can do for yourself. If it's only a 10-minute walk, if it's a 15-minute walk, doesn't matter. It's moving your body. It's circulating your blood. It's working your muscles. Focus on what you can do today and just do it, but do it consistently. If all you can do when you weigh 200 pounds is walk for 10-15 minutes, that's fine. That's what you can do. Do it, but do it consistently. So Meru, I hope that's answered your question. I hope if there are other people watching this video who are of a certain weight and think that they can't exercise, I hope that's helped. Just focus on yourself, do what you can do, but just do it consistently.